How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Big Six. You already know what it is. Every Friday, every Monday, 10 p.m. The regular faces, and we got a new one in today. FUAD, Stoppage Time TV, 360 TV. Now he's got his own channel. What are you saying, bro?
All good, bro, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Nah, come on, man. Come on, man. You know, it's hard to find, people that can talk about football logically and with a bit of banter too, a good mix. But yeah. I think we've got it with you as well. So obviously, big up Tobes missing tonight, but big up FUAD who stepped in. And it's a big day to step in. I can't lie to you. Tottenham are in one of those seasons where
it's been a rough couple of weeks, bro. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Trust me. How you feeling about it all anyway? Let's get your thoughts on overall, Mourinho, Tottenham, sacking Pochettino for him, etc.
I mean, sacking Pochettino it's happened now. For me, it's one of them things you kind of have to move on. You can't dwell on. I know a lot of Spurs fans love to get their rose-tinted glasses and kind of always look back at the good times. But listen, we are where we are now, and the situation we're in, honestly, it's not a pretty one. And I say that stylistically and results-wise, in all honesty. But I mean, style-wise, I can't blame him. It's one of those things where I look at our team and I look at the weaknesses within that defense. I mean, the prime example was this Wednesday against Everton. No matter how many goals we score, that defense is always going to look suspect and cost us. And over the last couple of games, it hasn't even been defensive mishaps. So people will say the style of play hasn't been great, but individual errors have cost us in almost every single one of those games. And I think that's been a pattern at Spurs for the best part of 2 years now. Our defense has not been able to keep clean sheets consistently. And no matter what you do, you will not get anywhere without a decent back line. And as for Jose Mourinho, for me, you've got a manager who's one of the greatest managers of all time, in my opinion. He's won it all, done it all, seen it all. He may not do it in a style you like, but one thing we've shown is when he goes into a club, if you back him and you give him what he wants to build a team, his teams are usually successful. The one time I feel like that wasn't fully happening is now at Spurs. I feel like over the last summer, everybody looks at it and thinks we got 7 people in and it's all looking rosy, but we got 2 loanees, a freebie, 2 15 million signings, and Reguilon is really kind of the only player we spent money on. And yeah, you can say we got bodies in, but was it good enough to paper over the cracks? I felt like Poch for 4 years overachieved with a squad that I felt like he was getting a maximum out of, and it went stale and it needed freshening up. And I feel like Levy, put your money where your mouth is. You sacked the man who bled that team for what it's worth, got them to a Champions League final, consistent Champions League for the first time since, the 80s. So now it's a case of you've brought Jose Mourinho in, put your money where your mouth is. That's where I'm at with the club. I feel like the bigger issues at the club are the squad and the board. If we want to progress, it's not the manager. I feel like we've got a manager who's almost perfect for our situation. We're a club starving of success. He's a manager full of success. We're not in a position to kind of be cherry picking managers and saying we're going to sack Jose and get a next man in. This doesn't appeal to Nagelsmann, and this doesn't appeal to Ten Hag.
I want to ask you something. I want to jump in there, and pardon me for being, if you think I'm being rude, sorry. But you said something. There. I want to pick you up on that because first time we're meeting, and we like to ask the hard questions. When we first meet someone. So you said Pochettino got the best out of that bunch. Yeah. Yeah. Why can't Jose get the best out of this bunch? Why can't Jose? Not every manager gets their desired wishes. Not every coach will get. So most coaches, when they give a list of players, or when they're given a list of players, they say prefer, and they go through sort of the options, option 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. No manager apart from Pep Guardiola, of course, gets the number 1 target. Sometimes you have to make do with option 3, option 4, just like Jurgen Klopp has at Liverpool. Why hasn't Jose got the best out of previously Man United? And now Spurs?
I feel like the players at Spurs in particular, I would say, for example, you look at this season, I feel like he has gotten the best out of what he can, but it's just not good enough. We've got essentially the second best defensive record in the Premier League, but it doesn't look like it because week in, week out, individual errors are what are costing us. And for me, you look at that back line, it's in my ideas as a Spurs fan of what I've seen the last few years, it's a bunch of backups who've been asked to step up. So you look at Aurier, he was meant to be the backup to Kieran Trippier. You look at Eric Dyer, he was a midfielder 2 or 3 years ago, who's been asked to step back into defense. Davinson Sanchez was signed when Toby Alderweireld and Vertonghen were both still there. He was meant to kind of be the new one that bloods in, complete flop. Ben Davis was Danny Rose's backup. So we've essentially asked a bunch of backups to step up in place for what was 2 seasons in a row, the best defensive record in the Premier League under Poch. So for me, he hasn't got the tools there for me to actually get any more out of these players. And I feel like as Spurs fans, we've seen these players for over 3 years now. They're not up to scratch. They're not only letting Jose down. I feel like they're the same players that let Poch down towards the back of his end. Because everybody thinks that run to the Champions League was all rosy. But that second half of that Premier League season, we were a disaster class. We were out of form defensively. We were a shambles since maybe the Burnley game in February, I think it was. So we've been seeing these habits with these players. And it's a case of, for me, before you change the manager, how about you try changing the players? Because from the players Jose's brought in, the Højbjergs, the Reguilons, those have been the bright sparks. And Ndombele, he's completely turned him around. Harry Kane, we've seen a complete evolution. Son looking more deadly than ever. So I've seen positives from some players. It's not like Jose isn't improving anybody, but it's just a case of, I feel like there's some players, they've just hit their limit and it's not good enough, period.
You see what you just said about like the manager. Wouldn't that stand for them too in terms of Pochettino? Wouldn't you say that he wasn't backed enough? Because the 2 windows Pochettino had before he got sacked, you can't compare it to Liverpool, but Liverpool have had 2 poor windows, and look where they've dropped off from 2.
100%.
Having 2, yeah. Well, was you fully behind the sacking? Like, did you understand it? Could you get your head around it, or is it?
No.
Yeah.
Like for as much as like I love Jose and I'm Jose way and all this, I wasn't expecting it to happen that quickly. When Poch went out, I thought, like, what the fuck is going on? He should have, at least for what he's done for our club, been given to the end of the season to try and turn it around and at least be backed for me. For what he's done for that club, for me, he took us as far as Tottenham have ever been. It might not be success, it might not be trophies, but we were a mid-table team historically, and he's taken us to Champions League consistently. It's like you couldn't give him the benefit of the doubt to give him till the end of the season. And I felt like he got to the Champions League final in a year where he spent 0. I don't think that's ever going to be repeated in history. Like, we might not have won the trophy in the end, but you shouldn't have. You spent 0 that season to improve the team. And I think the biggest factor a lot of people will say is the stadium. The timing of the stadium for me, it was kind of funny from the board, because I thought they were almost trying to be a big club before they were actually a big club. I feel like you've actually got to get the success before you build the stadiums, before you build the training grounds and all this. That's the outside, the facade you want to sell almost. And I felt like it was a financial thing. He was looking at it from, I can sell this to the NFL, I can sell this to Lady Gaga, all these concerts. When in actual fact, you should be investing that money into the squad. That's the difference between Abramovich. How long has Abramovich wanted to kit up Stamford Bridge and all this? It's like, nah. So guess what? I'm going to spend it on the squad. Look at Chelsea.
Matisse, doesn't Roman feel like your manager? Because the way I look at it is Roman's been the manager at Chelsea. He's the one that's won the titles. Yeah. I know that I'm not discrediting the managers that have done it, but it's really Roman's. I lie, Matisse.
Yeah, he is the one that runs everything from top to bottom. He is the one that makes sure that the standards don't drop. And he's the one that makes sure that sentimentality doesn't get in the way of our progress or our success, regardless of, how you feel about Chelsea's model. It's been successful. Last season is the first time in a while where we haven't won a trophy. And I've been like, what's going on here? Do you know what I'm saying? So Chelsea just don't allow, whether you believe in their model or not. And of course, everybody wants the rosy 5, 6, 7 years of one manager. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when you're talking to your grandkids, it's all about success. At the end of the day, that's what you're going to be speaking about. So, for me, that guy has given, obviously, our club everything. And I completely agree with FUAD's point, is that you're trying to build a club, but you have almost tried to sell it on the outside before you've started to actually work on the inside. And you've tried to sell the house, paint it, make it look all good, but there's no furniture inside. There's no trophies. You need trophies.
And the thing is, I feel like bringing Mourinho in is another part of that. With the Amazon doc, you look at that, it's like perfect timing all of a sudden. And I'm just thinking, are you trying to, it's been 20 years you've been in charge now. And I feel like 3 or 4 times Spurs have been in good positions under Harry Redknapp, under Pochettino, and now under Jose Mourinho. I feel like these are 3 prime opportunities where the chairman has to put his money where his mouth is and say, I actually want to see this club. You say you're a Spurs fan? Okay, show us then. That's my thing.
What about in terms of the football? You know what I mean? It looks like there's a divide now in terms of Spurs fans wanting Mourinho out. You know what I mean? What do you say to them people that say, the football's boring, he's not getting the results? You know what I mean? When you have them two going tank to tank, it doesn't end well for Mourinho. But what do you say to them people that want good football? But then I just feel like as if now Tottenham had just that trophy that just needs a trophy first It needs that trophy first, and then we can talk about good football. You know what I mean? You win that Carabao Cup, and then you go from there, don't you?
My thing for me is I look at his previous teams in Chelsea and United, and I think I can understand where their fan bases were coming from. They wanted more entertaining football because they'd won, they'd succeeded, they'd had a couple of Premier Leagues.
Spurs have had that.
We haven't had any success. So for me, it's like we've had the 20 years of being the media darlings of the Tottenham way. We play wonderful football. What has that breeded for me? And it's like, all right, we've seen that for years. We've finally got a manager in. And the thing is, you knew what you were getting with Jose Mourinho. People can say he plays ugly football or not, but it's successful football at the end of the day. He wins by any means necessary. Conte does the same. Allegri does the same. Simeone does the same. It's not like that way of football is completely negative. Yeah, when you're not winning, it's ugly to watch. But I feel like you look at this Tottenham team, as I said, on Wednesday was a prime example. He said, okay, boys, you lot wanted attacking football all these last couple of weeks. Shackles are off. Go on the press. Go play on the front foot.
Yeah.
And what did they do? Bozo gene kicked in all of the back line, and they started leaking. Like, you can score 4 goals and still concede 5. Jose in his head is just thinking, you know what? I'm going to shut up shop till the end of the season. And I don't blame him for almost overcompensating for the weak defense that we have. That's what I feel like the Tottenham situation is. Historically, I think you know what you're getting with Jose. It's breeded success. I think if you give him the right players, it will be better. And I don't think it will be this ugly all the time.
I've said this before, Jose Mourinho, Jose will play attacking football if he's got the tools to do so. And I feel like, yes, he has got Kane and Son. But apart from them two, your team, in terms of your midfield and your wingers and your other goal supplies, is just not strong enough. And I remember when he won the title with Chelsea, the second half of the season, he shut up shop because it was just Hazard. Costa had gone on form, and he said, right, we're not going to throw this title away by trying to play the beautiful way, the West Ham way, the Tottenham way, all of these ways that haven't actually given success. He said, I'm going to shut up shop and I'm going to secure the bag. That is literally what he did. He still has, I think Real Madrid scored record goals under him when he was there. So we still have to. He made a point in one of his media briefings that, people keep saying that I don't attack, but then this is what I've produced, and he brought out his CV. So I agree with you. I think he is a bit harshly done by, especially I think when Tottenham haven't won anything. I think we have to bear that in mind, that Tottenham haven't won anything the other way.
Yeah. I slightly disagree. I absolutely understand and respect what Jose Mourinho has done in the game. Right, he's one of the most coveted managers. That will go down. It will go down in history. But if you look at sort of most teams that have won leagues or Champions Leagues, so you'll see that there is a certain brand of football that can be played. It's not necessarily the Jose way is the way to win trophies. I see what you're coming from, FUAD, that he guarantees trophies. Well, he doesn't really guarantee the big trophies anymore, and hasn't for a little while. And so you have to go deep. Why? It's not necessarily about spending whatever. I've got to remind you, Jurgen Klopp won the league without spending a penny in that summer. So I know you said we didn't spend a penny, neither did Liverpool, and we played mad attacking football. Pep, we know all his teams play mad attacking football, but he needs money. The Bayern Munich Flick, the old one, he's won Champions Leagues, he's won leagues playing attacking football. There is a brand of manager, there is a brand of football that, in my opinion, is played at the highest level that encourages trophies. I don't think Jose's football can win you the elite trophies. And I said this at the start of the season when you guys were flying and everyone was saying Spurs are in the game. I said it won't. He hates losing more than he enjoys winning. That's the thing with him, and he will never change now.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Big up everyone watching live already. 1,200 people here. Make sure you hit the like button. We see a couple super chats. We had hashtag Jose Way earlier on by Luke. I don't know if that's got something to do with FUAD, but the smile might tell me it does. We also got some cryptocurrency advice about stock, and then we've got Boogeyman saying, what did he say? Let me go to his last one first. Poch is gone. Jose is the new guy. Can't go back and cry now. Stick with him. The thing about that is, as an Arsenal fan, I have to stand up and say you have to look a bit back to understand how you're going forward. You can't just go forward blindly. You have to look at the last couple of years. You can't just. There's no clean slate in football right now. It's all building upon a foundation, a base. And if your foundation and base seems to be rotten, you're always going to look back. And I feel like Tottenham, it seems similar, not to Arsenal's situation, but looking back at previous mistakes that could have gone one way, that push a club in the right direction, but have gone the other way to push it or pull it backwards. And I feel like, Boogeyman, you have to kind of look into that. But we got another super chat too saying, I see the pain on this Tottenham fan's face, I guess. Steve, please tell Pep to let this one slide. Let them win the EFL Cup. Steve, we might as well go over to you, my guy. We got Man City, Tottenham this weekend. It's not the best team to be facing when you're in this position. What's your thoughts? How's it going to go?
First of all, I'll just touch on the Tottenham thing there. FUAD made some great points.
Yeah.
To be honest, FUAD's totally different to Toby. Obviously, Toby's views he hates Mourinho. He's obsessed with his style of football. He doesn't prioritise the trophies ahead of the football. So he'd rather have a different manager. You play absolute great football and never win a trophy. Whereas what you just said is what we've just been saying on here for weeks. But the thing is with Mourinho, what you've got to understand is this: he can't get blood out of a stone. He probably looks at that team daily on the training ground and he thinks, our defence isn't good enough, right? So you can't just miraculously ping out a new back four. So he's got to play the way he sees it. So if he's going negative, that's because Jose Mourinho is training the players every week. He knows that if he goes gung-ho, that back four is going to get slaughtered. So all the fans sitting in the chairs demanding this attacking football, them players can't do that football, as you've seen the other night. Yeah, it was great going forward, but look at the shambles at the back. So no manager you bring in is instantly going to make them players become a title-winning team. The players aren't good enough. So what do you do? I'm right. FUAD's exactly spot on what he says about the money. Daniel Levy's got to back the manager. You can't just keep chopping and changing and hope a manager gets the best out of that set of players, because in my opinion, there's 5 or 6, maybe 7 of them players that are never going to win a trophy and they're not good enough. So do you stick with Mourinho? Do you give him a 3 or 4 year plan? And do you look at slowly progressing it? Because I say it all the time on here, there's a lot of fans out there that demand instant success. 1 minute, 1 week, the top of the league, they're bouncing, backflipping in his bedroom like SAEED. And then the next minute, it's all doom and gloom. Let's get the manager out and all that. I think Mourinho, his track record as a manager is brilliant. I reckon, did he struggle at Man United? Look at the season he won them trophies at Man United. He finished second to Man City. Was that a bad season for them, considering everything that he had in front of him? I thought he did really well, to be honest. But
his first season was good. His first season was good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, I look at Tottenham fans, and some of them they're that deluded. The Pochettino effect, getting him to that final, did you more harm than good. That's all I'm saying. I think the expectation levels of the Spurs fans went absolutely through the roof, and they thought next logical step for us now is we're going to win the league or we're going to win the Champions League. No, take a step back out the Tottenham bubble, put the neutral specs on, look at it for what it was. He did an amazing season. He got to the final. He didn't win it, but it was one of them freaks of nature. And I think you've got to stick with Mourinho. I think the fans have got to get it out of the system and get behind him. And listen, I think there's probably 10 or 12 teams in that Premier League, in that top half, that would take Mourinho. So I get what FUAD's saying. I'm not saying Toby's wrong, because he's entitled to his opinion and he's very knowledgeable on Tottenham. But I'm just saying, let's win Would you take a Carabao Cup this year and finish 5th or 6th? Just for the trophy?
Yeah. For me, I would, but for me, I'd target more the Europa League, if anything. Yeah, I think the Europa League, that's a silverware, and you get a path to the Champions League. If Jose does that for me, he's ticked every box he's kind of come here for. And for me, it's a case of, if he does win any form of trophy, if Daniel Levy does not put his money where his mouth is, I don't want to hear Tottenham fans having this delusional expectation of thinking, because I think sometimes just because it's Jose Mourinho as well, the levels of expectations go up as well. And naturally, I get it. That's the precedent he's set for himself. But you've got to look at what has got him that success as well. Is he going to get that at Tottenham? And that's where I kind of question and feel like he might fall under Daniel Levy's sword, because Daniel Levy's not willing to kind of budge on his budget.
I was going to say, we a couple of you guys have talked about, we know what Jose's about. We know what Daniel Levy's about, though. Yeah. We knew, didn't Jose know, or didn't the little Spurs fans know what the owner's about? Jose was never going to get a war chest. He doesn't, Daniel Levy doesn't work like that with a war chest. I also disagree that Spurs expectations, fans' expectations should be lowered, because it wasn't just the Champions League final. You consistently finished in the top 4. You was sort of so when predictions were made at the start of every season, Spurs were in the mix for top four. You have to raise your expectations. I disagree with this. They were sort of asking for the league and everything. I don't know any Spurs fan that was asking for the league straight after the Champions League final. They wanted consistency, and they done the opposite. They had to let go of the manager, or they sacked the manager, whatever the circumstances is, and they brought in a manager that we know through history of football only works with a war chest. He hates working with what he's got because he has totally different ideas to any other coach. So when he goes into a club, you got to be ready to back him with bag and bag and bag. Otherwise, take it for what it is. And at the moment, you're going to take it for what it is.
Yeah, so I think though, you're asking for progression from kind of like the manager, but you've got to expect that from the board as well, surely. Because if you're saying they kind of want consistency of the Champions League, all right, you've built the new training ground, you've built the new stadium. Can you now invest in the squad for me? That's the frustration as a Spurs fan, I think. It's when you're seeing all of this investment go in, all this roo-rah, when you're seeing 220 million sponsorship deals being signed, but then we're still being very stringent with the squad. And then, I don't know, I just feel like with a manager like Jose, especially how he was brought in, it was the very next day after Pochettino was sacked, which tells me he had this in the pipeline. You can't have made the Jose war chest decision and not had a war chest ready. That just tells me you're ill-equipped then as a board. You're making decisions unwillingly, not knowing your future. So essentially the board are playing with their own future. So that tells me that's weak leadership right from the top. That's my issue for me. So I don't want it to be a thing where because Jose didn't get his war chest, oh, he didn't do good enough. No, they picked Jose. They knew what they was getting. So now back him for me. That's the thing.
It's very hard to blame Jose when Jose is doing all he knows. And the board themselves should have selected someone to develop youth, to develop players, to not need to spend money. If that's they should have got a Poch 2.0. If they was never going to want to spend, then don't bring in a manager who wants to spend. You can't blame 100%. You can't blame a manager who's known for spending.
It's the money there.
It's like bringing in Pep and not backing him with the players that he needs. Imagine if Man City had brought in Pep and they didn't change the goalkeeper to buy a ball-playing goalkeeper, didn't bring in defenders and kept Mangala and all these guys, and then expected Pep to work his magic and play his system and play his beautiful football. It doesn't work like that. So for me, it has to start from the board, because if I'm looking at Tottenham and them wanting to be consistently even in the Champions League, just look at all the other teams in the Premier League. Even look at Everton, the way that they've spent. Teams are ambitious as hell these days. They don't sit around and play games. You have to spend just to stay in the same position, let alone go up. So I think the board at Tottenham are missing the trick here.
I don't think Tottenham's got the money, mate. I think that stadium is a massive black hole in their balance book. I think it's cost more than was expected. I know guys down in Manchester that were getting paid £600-700 a day on that stadium in London. They were going up there because they had to rush it to get finished. So I think he's trying to bluff it, leave it for a couple of seasons to get that financial thing padded up on that stadium. And then that's why they're not going to spend. I can't see Tottenham going out spending 200 million.
Yeah, but then Steve, Jose is the wrong manager to hire.
Yeah, but surely when they interviewed him, if Mourinho was the world-class manager, when he's in the interview room, he says, right, okay, what do you want me to do? What's your expectations and how much money have I got? So surely to God, they must have told him and he took the job. If they'd lied to him, surely he'd come out and say, look, it's not what I was promised. I'm doing the best I can and I'm going to try my best. So there's something not right there with it. But, listen,
the only thing I'll add to that as well was in regards to the finance. I understand people say Levy might not splash the cash as well, but there's so much deadwood at that club, I feel like. And Levy tries to haggle either to break even on the player or profit. And Aurier is prime example of that in the summer. We could have got 25 million for him going to AC, but he said, nah. We pay 24 million. We want a profit on him. And it's a case of, for me, Aurier at that time had shown himself to not be good enough. Get someone else in. For me, that's the thing. It's the lack of planning and preparation. When your head of recruitment comes out in the documentary and says, I hate transfer windows, it just tells me this club is not ready. Yeah, it's not looking good. So for me, it's like the lack of planning and preparation that comes right from the top down, because the leadership always comes top down. And if that's weak at the top, listen, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, bro.
Trust me, I feel that one. I feel that one. The leadership from above. You know what I'm on about with Arsenal. So trust me, I feel that one. Cause it's not going to change.
On the game, Turkish, obviously, I feel like I'm repeating myself every week, but it's hard not to, innit? You know, we're a form team. The defence is playing well, blah, 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 blah. But when we played Tottenham last few times, we've not played bad and we've been beat. But this is a prime example of the old Pep. Because we're going gung-go at Tottenham. They just picked us off. And then it's like, next minute you're 2-0 down, you're losing the game, blah, blah, blah. We're rolling into this game, different mentality, different kettle of fish. Do I think Mourinho's going to park the bus? Yeah. Do I think he'll take a point? Yeah. Will it end up us trying to break him down? I think it will. I think we'll win the game. I think we've just got that bit between the teeth. We'll win the game. And I look at the Tottenham team now as well. And this is one big thing I fear for Tottenham. Harry Kane. You know, the vultures are going to be circling. City need a new striker. Real Madrid are going to need a new striker. Harry Kane, all he needs is his head turning. And before, Tottenham was, they could have said, look, don't go. We just got to Champions League final. We've got a new stadium. We want you to lead us in it. All that spiel. But at the end of this season, when you get him in the room and you're trying to persuade him to stay, is Daniel Levy going to be able to persuade him to stay? And I'll tell you another thing. That Son, right? I went to Tottenham game last year. And if they sell that Son, they'll lose 100 million a season in shirt sales and merchandise and everything, because I've never seen as many Korean dudes outside a stadium in my life. They were even offering me 500 quid to buy my ticket in the city end just so they could see him. That is how crazy it is. So anyone wants a player to make dough, sign him.
Sign him, man. Right. Before we move on to,
man, you're gonna get a Korean army against you, man. Just chill out.
Before we get predictions, FUAD, like,
that's not one.
Do you see any change around the corner? Or is it pretty much the same for now? Like, if he doesn't win the League Cup, would you get rid of him this season?
No, I think you give it till the end of the season. For me, it's how the season finishes. It's how do we kind of drop out of the top 4 race if we do. And then a case of the cups. For me, that's where our season lies this year. It will be Europa League and Carabao. That's where kind of will be the make or break for Jose, I guess, this season. But I think being paid 15 million a year, he's probably got another year and a half to go. I don't think Levy will sack him anyway.
Yeah, the financial burden of that is mad. We've got prediction in from Toby, because obviously he's not here today, and we've got the prediction league. He's saying 3-1 to Man City. We know how Toby is.
Man.
I'd second that.
You're second that right now as well, yeah. What about Steve smiling up there? What's your prediction, mate?
Do you know what? I think we'll beat them 2-0. I think he's going to camp in their own half. We'll beat them 2-0. And the title challenge carries on rolling. Everyone's happy on the blue side.
What challenge? Stop calling it a title challenge. The title charge. It's a title charge. Stop saying challenge. There's no challenge.
I know you're upset about what happened. Don't be trying to play it now.
Title charge.
Play it down. He's still got to get over the line. We're still not there yet.
Congratulations. Title charge.
Title charge, man. Bloody hell.
Saeed, what's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, man. Someone said that Diaz is out for this game. Is that true, Steve?
No, man.
No, he trained today.
Oh, is it? I don't know why people are saying it online.
Did you see me present today off Sergio?
Yeah.
Fair play.
No, he trained today. Diaz trained today. He had a stomach upset, but he trained. So
yeah. I think for me, Tottenham, man, I think FUAD, I want to back him, because if anyone could do it, maybe Mourinho could give us something, man. You know, he did it against when City were meant to win the league on that famous day at the Etihad, and he spoilt the party. You know, hopefully he could do the same, because, but then again, man, Lloris as well, you know what I mean, he's not on form. He had a couple of horrible, you know what I mean? I just feel like his actual save percentage now must be as low as 30% or something like that. You know, I think Alderweireld now, his legs are starting to get in there. I think, is he the player of a couple of years ago? You know, for me, it looks like an easy, routine City win. I'm going for 3-1 City, you know, as much as it hurts me, man.
3-1, you're going with Toby's result. I think it's only one way we can look at this, Grizz.
I'm going, quick prediction. I think they've discussed the game, how it's going to go, how it's going to pan out. I'm saying 2-0.
You're going with the same as Steve.
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
that's cool. That's Steve's at the top. So it's a wise
Yeah,
decision.
I'm just gonna copy him every week, man. To catch up.
Fuad, obviously, this is your first time here, so you're not part of the league. But what's your prediction?
3-1, honestly. I can't see us kind of getting anything out of this. I think, as Saeed touched on there, Lloris is arguably on his worst form I've seen in a long time. I think the backline looks very suspect. And usually in previous City games, they've kind of been, the backline's kind of resisted City's pressure, and Son and Kane have always kind of stepped up. But I don't know, unless some kind of Mourinho can do his tactical magic and Son does one of his kind of Man City virtuosos, a 3-1 loss is all I can see.
Yeah, that's the most common. 3-1 and 2-0. Mr. Matisse.
I'm going to go 2-0. Big Steve has spoken. And he's spot on about the Harry Kane thing as well, because I think I saw a clip with Thierry Henry where he said in 3 years, if I haven't won a trophy, I'll be very disappointed.
Yeah, I seen that.
That was 3 years ago. So
How old is he now?
Huh?
26, turning 27, I think, or
Yeah.
27.
Oh,
Yeah. He's at that cusp now where he seriously starts considering. My only question with Kane is he the kind of character to put out a transfer request and make it a big issue to leave the club? I think he's got a contract till 2023. He'll be 28, 29. I think will be the kind of final crossroad for him to make that big jump. I think that will be the real kind of moment. I don't think he'll leave this summer, definitely.
I think, to be honest, the climate we're in as well, it bodes well for Tottenham and Son, Kane, and some of the players you have. Because I think any other summer, a lot of the bigger European clubs, especially, will be sniffing around Tottenham, thinking now's the time. But I think with Kane, it's a bit hard this summer.
I think Real Madrid would have taken them off you immediately, to be honest.
Of course you would. I'm going for a tight one. I was going to go for a 3-1, and then I was going to go for a 2-0. But there's too many of those here, so I'm going for 2-1 because I need to make up some ground in the league. So I'm going for 2-1 Man City. I think Pep's going to be a bit more. Well, he's been a bit more pragmatic this season than regular seasons anyway. But I think in this one in particular, he will sniff some blood with Jose, and they go way back in terms of their battle. But I do think he'll just want to get the job done, and I think 2-1 is fair. Even though Diaz will be playing, I think Tottenham will have enough to cause a problem. 2-1. Yeah, I'm sticking with 2-1. So that's our predictions in for that game there. And we'll just move straight on.
Harry Kane's 28, in July.
Yeah, we'll just say it.
28 in July. So that will make him 30 by the time his contract comes. So 1 year to go would make him 29 next summer. To be honest, if his contract is 2023, as an Arsenal fan, I've learned right now, well, his most value was last summer, 3 years to go on your contract. But right now, it's only going to go downhill. So this summer's a big one. If you let it get to a year, then you might not even be able to rebuild with the money you get.
Listen, after the Bale rebuild, I don't trust nobody in this club to rebuild.
Say no more. I hear that. But listen, we're half an hour in talking about Tottenham. There's someone in the chat saying, listen, we've talked about them too long. But that same person in the chat said, all we do is talk about United and Liverpool every week. So make it make sense, guys. Come on, man. We need to get around the teams. And we'll move on to the, I don't know what to call them this year. GRIZZ, is it a top 4 challenge? Is it just a beleaguered, last few months?
I'm happy to go with that listener who said, don't talk about Liverpool, man. I'm calm if we don't want to talk about Liverpool, man. Because this is
big one. It's a big one. You kick off Leicester away.
It's a reset, man. It's a reset for us. We have to. I think it's very premature to call us dead, and Liverpool, the sort of the good Liverpool's done with, and we're downhill. I think it's too early to say that, but I'm not deluded enough to say there are concerns with you could say a slightly aging squad. Yeah, a couple of players again very much in the Harry Kane situation in terms of reaching. Well, some are older than Harry Kane, so Mo and Mane and Bobby all around the 29 age mark. 30, so I see the concerns long term. When I say long term, I mean in the next 2-3 years. But to rule us out completely in terms of and say, look, this is the end of this cycle, this is the end of this team, I think is very harsh, very premature. We've just obviously found out this week that Jurgen Klopp's mother passed away. God rest her soul. And she passed away like sort of 2 weeks ago before the Burnley game. And it just shows you the caliber of the man. You know, a lot of media narrative was chasing him, were hunting him down, saying, why is he like this? Why is he snapping? And, you know, I can't bear to imagine if I lost my mum and I had to carry on about my job and not be able to see her. I wouldn't be able to function. Never mind chat to media. Never mind put your face out there after a defeat. Never mind try to motivate a squad that sort of won the league and everyone's asking questions. I don't know how he done it. The guy's gone up in my estimation as a human being. You know, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm being real when I say this, for the rest of the season, I would want him mentally rest himself, look after his family, his health, because this game, at the end of the day, it's a game. That's the key word. It's a game. You know, our health, wealth, and families mean far more. It's we joke and banter here, but come on, guys, put ourselves in that position, and it's we can't even comprehend. It's, you know, he's human, he's flesh and bone. Above all that sort of bravado and Jurgen Klopp, whatever he talks about, and whatever he is, and a super, like a god to Liverpool fans. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, he's someone's father, you know, someone's son, you know, and he's flesh and bone. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm on that mindset of this season, just end it already. I know we got top 4 to go for and Champions League, but it's a mad vicious cycle. So for example, we've discussed about the injuries to death. Like tomorrow again, Fabinho's out, Thiago's out. It's never ending for us. Every week it's a new thing for us. So it's one of them seasons where it's where your competitors and rivals don't want to hear about the excuses. They don't want to know. They don't give a shit. And they're entitled to. That's what football rivalry is about. That's what tribalism is about. You just look at the score. You don't give a shit about the context. You see Liverpool lost, fucking heart. You know what I mean? So, but there's a lot of context behind where we are, how we are. I still say it. I'm amazed that we're still around the top 4 area. You know, I keep saying it. Take out 5-6 players of all your teams, your first 11s. Tell me where you'd be. Be honest. Tell me where you'd be. Take out 5-6 big mans at your teams. And that's what we're working with. That's what we're dealing with. So, look, we got to take our hits, take our medicine, and accept that we're not going to win the league. I don't think we're going to be close, to be honest with you. But top 4 is still on. We have to raise our game to get top 4, regardless of the injuries, regardless of the squad situation. And Champions League, look, we've won. And what I will say to Liverpool fans out there is we've won Champions League with far nastier squads. I'm telling you, we've won Champions League with butter squads, yeah, with Traore and them, man, and Milan Baros and them, man. So we can do this, but it's going to take a Jurgen Klopp special, man. And, you know what I mean? I hope he's got the energy and the sort of, you know, I don't know what to say because he's got the passion. The man's he's next level, but I hope he's like there. Everything is healthy. That's the main thing to carry us forward, possibly into the Champions League, man.
No, 100%. And I want to like reiterate what you said. Nothing's more important than life, happiness, friends, family. You know, none of this shit means anything. That's why I like this show as well, because we can have a debate, we can talk, we can banter, but it's fun. We're friends. You know, too much of the stuff online now is a negative light. It's raspy. It's very personal. It shouldn't be nothing like that.
It's toxic.
No, it shouldn't be nothing like that because everyone's got their own life to live and everyone's got happiness to search for. And I think, you know, look at Klopp as an example. Look at Pep last year as an example. Saliba is another example of just because you're a footballer or you're in the limelight doesn't mean you don't go through your personal trials and tribulations. So obviously thoughts out to Klopp there. And regarding them injuries, Grizz, does that mean Kabak has a chance to start this weekend then?
Kabak's starting tomorrow. Kabak is 100% starting. And I'm excited to see him. You know my thoughts on him. I think he's a warrior. I think he's strong. He's raw. He's got the natural attributes to be a long-term partner for Virgil van Dijk. I just think that word raw sometimes means that term raw. When I use that term raw, I mean he can be equally as bad as equally as good, if you know what I mean. Add on to his age, he's only 20. You know, he's not been playing in successful teams, like sort of relegation teams. But, you know, it's exciting. Sometimes defenders, you know, the best example we can give you is Robertson. Comes from a dead whole team, relegated, and look at him now, yeah? Arguably the best left back in the world. So, you know, a lot of Liverpool fans are concerned that he's coming from sort of the teams that he's coming from, etc., etc. Same with Davis, Ben Davis, the other fella, comes from Preston. But you know, sometimes you can find gems amongst these leagues, and we certainly got the best coach to sort of nurture unearthed gem, and I think that's what Kabak is. A lot of people are going to be, you know, not happy with some of the mistakes he's going to make, but he's got the raw attributes to be an absolute monster at the back for us. Yeah, but he's definitely going to start for us tomorrow.
That'd be an interesting one. You might have give me a prediction as well, Grizz.
Leicester City's tricky, bro. They're flying at the moment. I'm going to go. I need to get up the table, innit? So I allow Liverpool winning every week. It's not happening. 2-2.
2-2. Same as Toby. Exactly same. 2-2, Toby says. Where should we go to next? Well, Liverpool makes sense to go to United or City. Let's go to SAEED, United. What's your thoughts on Liverpool now and the prediction?
Yeah, Liverpool, man, you know what I'm saying? GRIZZ made a good speech, you know what I mean? Football is amongst important of least important stuff, you know what I mean? So, you know, we have to say that. For me, it's going to be a tough game for Liverpool, but James Justin, you know what I mean? You know, no one's seen a player injured, but apparently he's out for about 9 months. For me, it's exciting talent. I feel like, you know, I don't like to see them kind of talents who, you know, we could get in the England squad, you know what I mean, and whatnot, and they're going to be out. So he's out for 9 months. Apparently, you know what I mean, they haven't got this Fofana's out, you know, so the centre back options are quite limited in terms of how they were good in that system, you know what I mean, at the back. So I can see Liverpool winning this, you know. I really can. I'm going to go for 2-1 Liverpool, you know what I mean. I feel like they will bounce back. And no Vardy as well, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? I'm sure even Kabak or whoever can deal with in the actual, mate.
No, Vardy's playing, man. Vardy's there.
Was it Vardy playing?
Yeah. Vardy's playing. The only person out of their first teams that's not going to be playing is James Justin. They've got Soyuncu and Fofana. Sorry, Fofana. But Soyuncu and your ex-boy. What's his name? Soyuncu and your ex-boy.
Oh, man. Evans,
he's there, so it's calm.
All right, then. I'll change my mind. I'll go for 2-2 then. I'll go for 2-2. I'm sure Vardy's out. It's crazy.
Nah, Vardy's there.
2-2 is definitely seems like the safe option because it's one of those ones that I can see Leicester winning, I can see Liverpool winning, but
same.
It's just a mad one. Steve, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, Liverpool need to stop that mini run. It's like you say, keep saying about this reaction. Obviously it was tough last week, but Leicester's a tough game. Leicester have got their own little goals that they need to achieve. I mean, we talk about the big six on this show, and Leicester, we don't really talk about them, but they have been in the mix all season in the top six. So you've got to give them some credit. Whether Brendan Rodgers can get them ramped up with it being the old Liverpool connection and the way he left there, and whether he can get them tuned up, I don't know. I'm sort of leaning towards a Liverpool win. I think Liverpool will edge it. I think the strike force is going to kick into gear at some point soon again. And I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. Steve, 2-1. Matisse?
Yeah, it's tough, man, because this could go either way. We talk about everything that's happened with Klopp, and you think maybe this team will try and pull together and get the win for him and whatnot. Obviously, James Justin is out for God knows how long as well of his massive injury, so that's a downer for Leicester. But I don't know, man. I just think quality-wise with that midfield that Leicester have and the injuries that GRIZZ is talking about with that defence, and that means that probably Henderson is going to get moved into that defence, and that limits the midfield. So Telemans, Maddison, Ndidi, all these guys, Vardy back. I think I have to go over 2-1 Leicester win. I think their team's just too strong, man. It's a difficult team to come up against. You need to be fully strengthened up to go up against Leicester.
Yeah, you do. And to be honest, I'll put down same as Steve, 2-1 Liverpool, because I'm just going to try and get some points back on the board. And I put 2-1 down, and then Steve goes and puts 2-1 Liverpool down too. But I'm sticking with my guns because I don't want to lose ground. I just think that it's one of those games where it just doesn't look like it's going to go Liverpool's way. And I think it will. It's the games that haven't gone Liverpool's way recently. I don't think any of us really expected it to go the way it did go. So we've been surprised. I think tomorrow we'll be surprised again, and Liverpool will probably do their thing. FUAD, what's your thoughts overall on the game? I know we got Tob's prediction, but Leicester Liverpool midday kickoff.
I think Matisse touched on it there. I think Leicester's squad, at the minute, the strength is there. I think the form is there, and I think historically as well, Leicester have always struggled against Liverpool. And if ever there was a time, I don't think they beat them since 2017 or something like that. But if ever there's a time to beat them, as you said, Brendan Rodgers has got a kind of chip on his shoulder as well, point to prove. I think this could be kind of the game where Leicester stamp themselves as kind of top 4 credentials seriously this year. If they want to show that, I think this is the game to kind of stamp your authority.
Bro,
Liverpool,
this is the year every team stamps his authority in Liverpool.
Yeah,
any record
honestly.
to be broken, come to Liverpool and break it, bro. Come just play Liverpool and break their record.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I've been seeing a lot of teams kind of break their ducks, but I just want to ask you, Grizz, quickly as well. Have any Liverpool fans kind of thought of the concept? Kind of obviously the players, as we're saying, might play for Liverpool and ramp up, obviously with his mum's death and everything. But the fact that it could have a negative effect as well, and that Klopp at the end of the season might possibly leave because of kind of external factors outside of football, but then also taking into account kind of what he's achieved at the club, everything he's done. He's kind of taken Liverpool back to the pinnacle. He might just kind of, similar to like he did with Dortmund, I've raised you lot back to the profile, but as things kind of start to come down, he just says, do you know what? See you later. And with everything going on in his personal life, like, has that thought even come into your head?
100%. You know why, bro? Because this is about life and death. This is about personal tragedy. This is about someone's life and how close he was to his mother. So as much as we know Klopp's not a quitter in terms of when it comes to his team not doing well, Klopp's not a quitter that when he honors his contracts, this is a life contract he had with his mum. This is totally different. So these kind of things you have to think about. If you don't, then, you know what I mean, I don't know, I worry about your mindset, your empathy, where your sympathy lies. This is Jurgen Klopp's mother we're talking about. We don't know. None of us know how it's affected him personally. Only he knows what his mum meant to him, how close he was, what he thinks about life now. Yeah, how many times do we hear stories of our brothers, our mates, our friends when they say, yeah, you know what? We hear about when they lose their parents, them gone. They're finished. We don't hear from them from society. They become recluses or whatever. They don't mix with us, So it's the same. It's a human being thing, that has to come into our thoughts and sort of that could happen because apparently he was very close to his mother. And, these kind of external factors play different levels of roles in different people's lives. So, yeah, I worry about that, bro.
100%. You've got to keep it in mind, especially this league has the most eyes on it in the world, and the pressure of this league. You're going to get abuse in any way, shape, or form when you're on social media, whether you're in Premier League, La Liga, or Turkish Super League. It just, it's the eyes on it. And I think this one, look at the example of recently, Twanzebe, Martial. Look at Arteta and Mike Dean, for example. Like, listen, as much as I don't like Mike Dean as a referee, it doesn't mean send him death threats. As much as I might critique Arteta as a manager, it doesn't mean send him death threats. The racism, the social media abuse, it gets too much at times. And when you've got a life to live, a life to run, people you care about, I can't lie. Advice is you look after your own mental. You have to look after your own well-being. It's not just physical, it's all inside as well. Like, you got to look after that. Otherwise, you can lose track real quick. I've seen man lose track. I've seen man fall off the wagon.
100%.
Not because of physical, because of mental, growing up. So I'm very much a firm believer. And like you said, Grizz, life comes first. And that is the be-all and end-all. So we got all them predictions in. And we'll move on to United, Saeed. You're unusually quiet.
United, man.
You're through
man, I'm quiet because I'm. This is the motion of what Man United are doing to me, man. You know what I mean? I want to go back to my bubbly self, man. I want to go back to that giddy self, man. That's where I thrive on best, man. I'm an excitable fan. I'm an emotional fan, but I like, what I mean? This is where Man United kick in, but it is what it is, man. We are, 5 points behind the City. I think we're just gonna have to ride with the wave, man. Just take game by game, but I'm just worried about Europa League, man. I didn't want that, and I feel like a lot of people have forgot about that. That's the reason why I was so hard on Ollie, and I said to myself, we're out the Champions League, and everyone's like, but yeah, we're gonna win it. I said, no, it's not about that though. It's about how can it affect your season and Europa League, yeah. And I know people can talk about Wednesday, Saturday is the same as Thursday, Sunday, but it's not about that though. It's about mentally though, going all the way to. I don't know where we play. We're playing in Turin. Apart from that, it could be in Kazakhstan. Nothing against Kazakhstan, but it's all over on the side of the world. And you're thinking, that will affect players because they have to travel no matter what. I don't think it's them kind of days where, you leave someone at home anymore. You travel with a squad, you show your support, and then you go home together. I just feel for me, it's going to be one of them games. And I feel like West Brom, I think it's going to be a comfortable game. I think we will thrash them, but I still have that feeling of do I care? Because at the end of the day, City will probably win against Man City, and then it's a case of we got to do our job. Don't get me wrong, we got to do our job, but I'm not one of them people where I'm gassed anymore. I'm just riding the wave, and we'll see where we go game by game. All I can say to you, and I did predict this, by the way. I said if we could go through Everton, obviously we didn't get through Everton. We lost a point. We lost 2 points there. But I said if we get to Newcastle and this game here, and then go to Chelsea away and Man City away and get something out of there, that'll be the real test of Ollie. We don't do that. It's same old United. But if I was going to give you a prediction, I'll give you 3-0 Man United.
Straight in with the prediction. 3-0, yeah?
Yeah, 3-0, mate. I think we'll be comfortable. West Brom, not 1 win in 10 for West Brom, so, Sam Allardyce can do whatever he wants, mate. I think we'll have enough power.
You are away as well, and you don't do better.
Away as well.
So I can't lie. We've got Tobes' prediction in there 2-0, and we've got a question. Special guest viewer in the building. SAEED, a question for you.
Yeah.
Culture Cam, Mr. Moving Silent.
Culture Cam is here, man. He loves what did he say? Because someone asked him why he thinks it's okay for United strike to have 4 goals by January with a red card also. Listen, I think with Cam's he's got a massive agenda against Martial. You just got to realise this, yeah. I think Martial and Cavani have both same level of goals, don't they? I'm sure they do. So in terms of the whole season, I think they both got 7 for the season. It's not as if one's doing better than the other. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like for me, you just got to look at the system and what's going wrong, man. You know what I mean? When you're looking at how, Martial is receiving the ball from the halfway line and having to play from there, you know what I mean? Then kind of create as well at the same time. Then you need to know what's going wrong, man. You know what I mean? For me, I know Martial's qualities. I don't forget last season comes. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're forgetting last season, but I don't forget last season, man. You know what he did for us, man. You know what I'm saying? In terms of how he led the forward line. I don't remember that, and I feel class is quality, man, and he will be back, man. You just got to give him time.
How much was Martial?
He was 36 million, rising to 56.
So let's say, has he reached that 56? Because obviously he'd have to meet some targets. I don't think.
Well, if it's depending on goals,
really,
it was a Ballon d'Or.
What did you say, Steve? The Ballon d'Or to get part of that.
Yeah, so forget that. So forget that.
Yeah, so he's probably in the 40 range mark, probably 45, 40 range is achieved so far.
Yeah.
I think massive.
Watching.
Yeah, but what you got to realize is though, a lot of people,
huge flop.
No, I don't think it's a huge flop. What you got to realize is though, everyone's comparing it to Cavani, who's completed. You know what I mean? Cavani's still 20. Sorry, Martial's still 25. Yeah. By the time he gets to maybe 27, 28, then we can really say, you know what? You know what I mean? Maybe you need to be sold. But at this minute, he's still developing. He's still showing that it's still for me.
How long has he been at United?
Come on. How long are you going to develop him for?
United.
You're going to develop him all the way into a care home. Wait,
not developed a care home, but you got to realize though, the first season is shelled out. Hold on. First season is shelled out under Van Gaal. Second season, I think Mourinho stifled
him. Every coach, so all these bad world-class coaches, Van Gaal, Mourinho, all of these world-class coaches can't get the best out of a player. It's the player's problem, yeah?
No, but
it's the player.
You got to realize though. Mourinho played absolute terrible football. You get me? Hardly any attacking player, yeah, got the best. You never got hardly get the best of it. Apart from Ibrahimovic when he came for one season. You got to realize though, the way we want to play, the way Martial wants to play, yeah, sometimes it doesn't suit what we're trying to do right now, especially this season. Last season, yeah, it was all to feet. It was all very, very good. Mason Greenwood got a lot of goals. You got to realize as well, Mason Greenwood suffering right now. It's not just Martial. Mason Greenwood suffering right now.
Mason Greenwood is a kid.
Yeah, but Mason Greenwood overall play though. Well, I can say. Hold on. Well, I can say.
Still looks more threatening in my opinion. You know what?
Nice try,
Chris. Well, I can say Foden is a kid then. What about you then? If I say Foden is a kid
under the bus,
you know what I'm trying to say to you? What if I say Foden is a kid?
19 years old.
Foden is a kid, isn't it? But he'll still do bits.
The thing with Martial is I think every time though, I think he's been expected to kind of step up for United and be the main man. He just hasn't for me. And I feel like it's from Jose Mourinho, I feel like he couldn't rely on him. That was the thing. He needed a proven man. That's why he went out and bought Lukaku. That's why he went and got Ibrahimovic. And the same thing we're seeing this season. Martial's had his time. He's had his run. I feel like Cavani for me is just, as you said though, he's had that one season and you're meant to follow it up. That's the thing. It's not like this season he's had knocks, he's had injuries, he's been fit and been playing. And guess what? You're saying it's kind of like the style of play. It's the same thing you lot were playing last season.
United fans,
honestly.
He bent up Martin Skirtle, one time, and people got so gassed. We sold Martin Skirtle because of that. And everyone thought
what you
about Martial. I thought Martial. Everyone thought Martial. This is it. The new Henry. He was dubbed.
You know what it is with
The
Martial?
new
I feel like,
Henry.
you know what it is for me? When certain other players have a bad spell, they get away with it. I feel like Mane's had a bad spell, got away with it. Harry Kane for a while had a bad spell, he got away with it. There's certain players that get bad spells here. They get away with it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Hold on. Let me finish the point. When Martial has a lot of a bad run, it's almost like people damn him, man. They look at his body language. I think he don't care.
What you said.
They look at his mannerism. I just feel like Martial's on a bad patch.
Yeah, you said bad patch. No, you talked about Mane. You talked about Kane. You talked about Salah before in the past as well. All these people have bad patches. You just had bad seasons, bro. He's 25. He's had bad seasons. Bad patch is different.
As the season finished,
from bad patch.
As the season finished.
Huh?
No, but that's the thing.
Do you know what is the Martial?
If you don't win this weekend, it could be. If you don't win this weekend, it could be.
No, but that's what I'm saying to you, Ori. People have written him off already.
Nah.
How can you write off Martial?
I hope he stays there. I hope he stays there, bro. Because I don't.
Well,
I think he's dead. I hope he stays there.
Well, we'll prove you wrong.
Is Martial got the potential? Is Martial right now a top winger or top striker for a team that wants to challenge for the title? You talk about not having a manager that's not good enough. Let's look at some of the players, because
I still think Martial could do a job though.
So do you think Martial can become not a job because you didn't pay for him to do a job? You paid. There's a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract.
But we didn't know it was going to be like this though. When we bought him at when he was like 19 years old, man. This guy developed, man.
Years. So is he going to become a leading goal?
How do you know he's only 25, man?
Premier League striker, a Harry Kane level striker.
Obviously, I can't foresee that's a hypothetical argument. You know,
you can get a gauge. You can get a gauge.
No, I can't really say that. But what I'm trying to say to you is though, you got to still developing. Listen, listen. If someone said to me, Harry Kane's coming to the football club and he's going to be competing ahead of with Martial, I want the best in class, mate. Don't get me wrong, man. I still will criticize Martial. What I'm trying to say to you is though, a lot of people are very, very scapegoating Martial when reality is, nothing is working to the system, nothing. We're not really creating goals in terms of for him, Central Cavani. When you look at Cavani, when he came on the pitch, did anyone realize it? He hardly had a touch in that game when he came against West Ham. The system for me is wrong. Until we sort that out, we'll always be poor, mate. Simple as that, man.
So what are you saying? Over the last few years, is everyone saying that Rashford's had better, more development?
You know the similar stats, by the way.
But the thing is, Rashford's had bigger moments. No, but wait one sec. Rashford's had bigger moments. That's the thing. United fans can hold on and say Rashford had an impact in those big moments, and that's my thing. With Rashford,
still have similar stats, though, bro.
How old is Rashford?
Rashford is also homegrown, and he's 23, and he's 20. He's 2 years younger. So for me, it's a case of you're comparing two players who are at different levels. And for me, Martial right now should be the ready-made firing 20+ guaranteed, and that's the issue. And now, Saeed, you went now. One sec. Because United as well, I'm shocked that you're kind of willing to give Martial this patience, because for me, United fans have always, you guys are almost becoming history FC. And the history of number 9 you lot have had, for me, is arguably one of the best in Premier League's history.
No, but what I'm trying to say to
you, the fact that you're willing to be so patient with Cavani, when you've said yourself, you've got a complete and proven Cavani there. And you're still willing to have patience with Martial. But I don't think Martial is it.
Martial's a overall better player in terms of Rashford and Martial, but Rashford is more productive. Do you understand that? So Rashford will get you the goals and whatnot. But if you look at it as an overall better player, Martial for me, you can't buy that.
I'm not even comparing to. I'm just looking at Martial the individual.
Everyone wants to see more production nowadays.
I'm not even comparing him to Rashford. No, but I'm not even comparing him to Rashford. I'm comparing him as an individual for what he should be doing 25. There's a reason why France aren't selecting him. There's a reason why there's been 2-3 years or whatever.
He's been in the squad a few times, but
squad once or twice, but is he actually playing? There's a reason why guys like Thomas Lemar, and you look at the list of wingers, Tovan is getting selected ahead of him. It's not good enough
because they play a brand of football, though. They know what their style is. I think the manager knows what his style. He's playing Giroud ahead of sometimes Griezmann, so he knows what his style is anyway. What I'm trying to say to you is, Martial for me, everyone forgets what happened last season, but I know what it's like. It's easy to pick on him straight away when he's having a bad season. It's all good. When he starts scoring now, we'll have this conversation anymore, will we? But it's easy because he's a very good. I said it from day one. Martial, we can talk about Lacazette, bought for 50 million. Has he hit the heights? But we don't talk about him, do we? Because it's not good to talk about. When it's Martial, when it's Martial,
but Arsenal fans can acknowledge that.
You know what I'm saying?
Arsenal fans can acknowledge Lacazette for what he is now. I think the issue is United fans still haven't accepted Martial for what he is. They still hope that there's this amazing wonder can in there.
I know. I've accepted Martial. He can be existing at times, but I know his classmate, and I'll still back that. And for me, he still has a place in the squad.
I've only succeeded with Mkhitaryan and Guendouzi behind him.
We had Mkhitaryan as well. We had Fellaini, Lingard. You know, I could say go on, mate. We had Fellaini, Lingard. You know what I mean? Mkhitaryan.
But you got Bruno and Pogba now.
But now, Mark. That's what I'm saying, Grizz. You're not looking at it. This is now.
Listen, Saeed, man. You need to calm down, yeah? You need to get some Yankee candles in the background of some of them incest sticks and that. And just root Sarah a little bit, yeah?
Read that super chat there. I waste.
You're getting a bit like irate here. Just calm down.
No, but for me, it's just, I feel like it's a scapegoat, man. It's a scapegoat.
The Man United fans like you get a grip and stop blaming systems and Solskjaer and actually look at the players that are on the pitch and realise that they ain't Man United players and they ain't good enough. So you can rant and rave all you want. Steve, you can't say Martial needs more time when he's been there 6 years. How much time do you want?
Steve.
No, but it's still quality. But you know what it is? You forget last season, though. You're not praising
What
last
did you do
season.
last season? Cool. What did you do last season?
What do you mean what he did last season? He got 17 goals.
So
what?
Who was he under?
Well, there you go, then, innit? What's the point then? What's the point of arguing then? If you're just going to say that, if you're just going to discredit 17 goals, what's the point of arguing now? What's the point of having this debate? What is the point of having a debate then? If you're just going to say that then? There's no point of having a debate then, is there? No, hold on. He just said what 17 goals. What's the point of having a debate then?
We have to be able to say
what 17 goals.
What's the point of having a debate? Credit. You have to be able to give credit. And last season, Martial does deserve credit for last season. He was their number 9, but he wasn't their number 9 for the whole season.
And then all of a sudden you say, what's the point talking then?
Sorry, Matisse.
What manager was he under last season?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Right then, okay then. So
blaming the system.
Solskjaer got the best out of him to now Solskjaer doesn't know how to use him. Martial has been there under how many managers?
And forget all about that. You talk about this season. Are we talking about this season? We're talking about this season, yes or no? It's a dip in form. That's all it is. You're making it out like it's bigger than what it is, man. It's a dip in form.
No, I think we're getting far too animated for a Man United problem, right? Maybe I started it, right? I hold my hands up, yeah. But it's a Man United problem. I'm happy for Martial to stay there. I think the rest of us are getting far too animated about an issue that they got to resolve. And good luck to them if they think Martial is the goal. Exactly. If Martial is the chosen number 9 for Man United, I'm happy to go with that.
He's still part of our squad, and for me, he has qualities, and that's it. I think you blow the question out of proportion, but. That's up to you.
Yeah. So sometimes it happens on this show. One question can lead us down a 25-minute argument. You know what? You know how it is sometimes. You know how it is. But I do think with Martial, I'm not his biggest critic, but I do think some of the blame in terms of development, I haven't seen enough from him. And I put that down to him as well, because he's been given enough chance. But at the same time, I don't write him off either. I think it comes down to natural ability versus a workmanship mind in Rashford. I think that's the difference between the two. And you're always going to go with that workman type of player when things ain't going too well, because it looks like he's giving you more than the one that might just give you quality, you know, in spurts like Martial does. When in reality, there isn't much to choose between them. I feel like they've both pretty much been letdowns since they've started in terms of where we expected them to be now. I don't know, Saeed, how you feel about that, but I feel like you would have.
I know that Martial should have reached the heights of probably, you know what I mean, what I would think he is, but still, I still believe in his qualities. I still believe there's a place for him in the squad. You know what I mean? Am I saying he's going to be my number 9 for the next 2 or 3 years? No, I'm not. You know what I mean? I always look for the best standard. If Haaland comes to the club, if Harry Kane comes to the club, listen, I'll have him, you know, up front and whatnot, and they can battle it for both places. But I just don't like the scapegoating and the kind of, you know, he's trash and all this and that. You know what I mean? From what we've seen right now, I don't like him because he has qualities. And last season, we're almost forgetting it. Like Steve says there, what 17 goals this last season? So it is what it is.
And we got Jamie super chat saying, how can you not give Martial credit when he was our player of the year last year? One of the main reasons we finished top 3, the goals he scored, his dribbling ability he showed from young. And I get that 100%. I don't think you can determine for and against Martial yet, which might pretty much say that he hasn't developed quick enough, because by now I think you should be able to say whether he is 30 or he's not. You can't, but there's still some hope there. Janice said it's all about Ferrero Rocher, you know. I know we had a chocolate debate the other day, so I know people are still stuck on that one from my channel. But you predicted 3-0, Saeed. I'm going to predict 2-1 to United. I'm saying 2-1 before Steve gets in there. A lot of people think I copied him with the last one. I haven't. I'm trying to catch him. I ain't copying him. And yeah, Steve, what's your thoughts?
I think United will win that 2-0.
2-0. Tobes has put down 2-0 as well. Grizz?
2-1 United, 2-1.
See, Grizz is copying me. That's what you got to do.
I'm gonna copy one by one all of you guys. I'm gonna just slowly work myself. Yeah, man. It's got to be strategic now for me, bro.
Matisse, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna go 2-0 as well. Yeah.
2-0. And Fuad, your thoughts on the game?
3-1 should be routine United win.
3-1. No Big Sam masterclass now.
Nah, I've said Big Sam. This is the year his duck breaks. He's getting relegated.
Inshallah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Inshallah.
Found the battle he couldn't win with West Brom. Eddie in the building saying these men got fined in Timo, Bobby no goals, and Sterling. They want to chat about Martial's finishing. It's mad out here. The United fan in the building, you know.
We ain't got time to. I could debate that all night, but we got to move. No, we got to move. We got to move. Matisse, we got to move.
Just got here.
Yeah. We got to move, Matisse. We got to move.
Whatever.
We've got a couple more predictions to get through. And we'll go to Arsenal Leeds next because I'm looking at the fixtures and I think Arsenal Leeds is a better game than Chelsea Newcastle. We'll see if that's facts. Matisse, sorry, Chelsea's lost today, but
I'm fine with that. You don't have to talk about it.
Move in silence. Arsenal Leeds, fam. I don't know what to say. You know, I just feel like goals in the game for sure. We're in a bad patch. You know what? I find I struggle to get myself excited for the Premier League now. You know, there's nothing in it for us. I don't know how you lot feel because you lot are all competing for something. Me, I'm just here predicting a result for a game that means nothing to me. You know, if you ask me about Benfica next week, I'd have a bit more heart and a bit more chest about it to talk. But with the league, I'm just like, well, win, lose or draw, where are we going? We're going nowhere fast. So it's hard for me to discuss games as much as people would like for me in the Big Six. But I'm saying 2-2. I think there's goals in it. And again, it's like the Leicester Liverpool. It can be 3-2. It can be 3-2 Leeds. It can be 3-2 Arsenal. It can be 2-2. It can be 3-1 either way. It can be, you know, any score whatsoever. I think the last one being a draw 0-0 was a surprise. Alioski and Pepe have a bit of history now.
Yeah.
Let's hope Pepe can, you know, rewrite some of the wrongs from that game because Pepe's picked up form. That's one good thing about the last few weeks. He picked up form, and if he can cap it off with a performance and goal against Leeds in a win, it would have been not a full turnaround from that red card, but it would have been a turnaround and something he can build off of. I'm going 2-2. Steve, what's your thoughts?
I think it'll be a draw, 1-1.
1-0 as well, yeah?
Wow.
1-0.
I think it'll be a good game, man. I think it'll be a very, very good game, you know. I think it'll be entertaining to watch. Obviously, Arteta, for me, will try and, like, you know, see how the game goes in certain moments of the game. You know what? Bielsa's like very, very tactical manager. You know, it's one of them weird games where, you know, you see that Bielsa with Crawley Town and all them teams where he thinks he's got one over a manager and he just loses the plot. You know what I mean? And then they end up getting beaten. But with Arteta, man, I just don't know. Partey's out, isn't it? Partey's out,
yeah.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm going to go for 2-2, man. Entertaining. Desmond, 2-2.
2-2. Come on, 2-2. Going with the same as me. And big up Mo with the super chat. $100.
Mo.
I like Steven, that.
Big up Mo. He's a good fan of mine. Mo, I'm seeing you, Mo. Always supporting me there. Keep going, Mo.
Come on, Mo. What is he? What is he? Mo a City fan?
I think so. He's always nice comments.
Yeah, of course he is. I haven't even read it out yet. We're top of the league, so I'm going to share some of that oil money. Say no more, man. Enjoy. Mo, appreciate it.
Holler me, Mo. Holler me.
All the links in the channel descriptions are below, people. All the links in the channel. I see Fuad getting a lot of love as well. His channel is below. You don't need to search. Just go to the description.
Yeah, man, big up, man.
Click it up and hit the link. And love for all the support. We're going through the last few predictions now. Make sure you hit the like button. Get it up to 1,000 before we leave. We're on 600 now, coming up to 600. Get it up to 1,000 before we leave, like every single episode. Make sure there's a pinned message. Make sure if you want to see more of Fuad, if you want to see more of all of us, if you want to see more of Tob, if you want to see X, Rants, all of these lot on the channel, subscribe to the Big Six channel because the Big Six channel from this summer will be a lot more consistent. There'll be a lot more content coming out from us 6 guys. And who knows, maybe a daily 10 p.m. show with a mix of fans coming in and out with different hosts. At least then I can, you know, sit back and put someone else in the Arsenal firing line for once. Until then, it's going to be me, people. But like I said, appreciate all the questions, thoughts, subscribers, you know, everything, super chats, everything so far has been mad. And I'm going to try and continue. And these guys are going to try to continue giving it to you guys every single week. We got another super chat from Jamie saying Tuchel's football will deplete by the end of the season. Just putting that out there, Matisse. You skipped the Chelsea. We're still doing the Arsenal predictions, but Matisse, hold this one in your back pocket. I promise when teams figure you out, you lot are done. Remember,
Trust me.
I'll be back. 1 hour, 10 minutes in, Friday, 12th February. I'm going to remember it just in case we need to use it at a later date. I subbed to FUAD. Come on, everyone needs to be subbing to FUAD.
Yes.
Make sure you guys do that. And where was we? We was at the predictions. We was at SAEED.
I go for 2-2. 2-2 Leeds. 2-2.
Tobes said 3-2 Arsenal, just so everyone knows. 3-2 Arsenal. That's Tobes. Grizz, what's yours?
Yeah, mad game. I'm a massive Leeds fan, massive Bielsa fan. But I like Arteta. I'm going 3-2. No. I'm going 3-3.
3-3, yeah?
Wow, man. Another Everton game, yeah. Bloody hell, you got to...
Right, goals galore. Fuad, what's your thought?
I'm going Arsenal 3-1 win.
Yeah.
I think Bielsa, the one thing we've seen with Leeds this season is they open up cheeks. They let goals in left, right, and centre. And I think even though Arsenal may not have the deadliest attack, I think Arteta can put together a game plan to kind of undo Bielsa's. Jose shown that against them, I think, a couple of weeks back. And I think one thing Arteta's shown is in a specific game, he can put a specific plan together. And I think Bielsa's team are kind of set up for his counter low block that he's been kind of trying this season. So, yeah, 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal, yeah. Last but not least, Matisse.
I'm going to go 4-1 Arsenal. I think, yeah, I've seen Leeds in big games. I've seen Leeds come up against even us before we went on our bad run. Leeds just can't defend. They play too open. I'm sure if Saka's fit, as long as Saka's fit, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I would say Arsenal will have a good day out, to be honest.
Yeah, so what was it? 4-1, yeah?
4-1, yeah, I'm going to go 4-1.
You're trying to do that reverse psychology thing. I know what you're trying to do.
No.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I've seen your videos before. You ain't this confident about Arsenal. You'll be at that roundabout real soon if it goes pear-shaped for us anyway. It's so mad. Listen, I see people saying pin the super chat. I can't pin super chats. I don't know how you do that. It doesn't even let me do that. But that's all the predictions for the Arsenal one in. And Matisse, let's just stick on you with Chelsea Newcastle. We got 2-0 from Tobes. I'm saying 3-1 just so it's in there. Over to you, Matisse.
Yeah, I think it'll be a 2-0 win. I'm going to go 2-0. We're not firing going forward at the moment. All of our strikers are off form. Timo Werner's been better. He's been in better form. Set up a goal the other day for Mount, but still not scoring himself. Tammy scores against Barnsley, but that was a shocking game. Awful performance. It's dreadful. I saw SAEED in the chat just like, whoa, this is disgusting.
Bro, bloody hell, man. Bloody hell.
I can almost hear SAEED just shaking his head just like, yo, this is just diabolical. And Giroud's not firing either. So, yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 just for the sheer fact that we're an organised team at the moment we don't concede goals. We've only conceded one since Tuchel's come in first 5 games. There was an own goal from Rudiger. So I think we'll win. It's not like Steve Bruce is the most attacking manager. He's not exactly going to go for it. Another low block that we have to break down. But apart from that, yeah, it's just hopefully a routine victory, to be honest. But nothing mad. Don't expect any fireworks or anything like that, I don't think.
So you're agreeing with Tobes. It's mad. Tobes ain't here, and you finally agree. It's actually crazy. Big up Janice in the chat too. And Mo, I didn't miss your super chat. I did put it up there. I tried to pin it. It's not allowing me to pin it. Obviously, big up you and big up everyone. Janice saying, Friday pair, mashallah. Come on, my bro. Come on, man. Where are we? Let's move through. Just give us your thoughts on the game, Chelsea Newcastle. It's pretty much a formality, really.
Yeah, I think it's one of those formalities. Newcastle picked up a couple of results over the last couple of weeks. I think they might kind of hit cruise control where they think, yeah, we picked up a few results. And Chelsea, I think they're on that new manager bounce at the minute where they're picking up points. They're kind of playing good football. But I agree with that kind of comment that popped up earlier. I think Tuchel will kind of get figured out over time. I think it's kind of, he's unraveled at pretty much every club he's been at. And for me, I think Chelsea will be an interesting project because he's only on an 80-month contract. So it's almost like a ticking bomb where they kind of expect him to succeed at the gate. So the pressure cooker's on. It'll be a good show, I think, against Newcastle. Easy 3 points, though. 2-0 win.
And Jamie says Hassan Hutel will figure Tuchel out. Chelsea can't hack the high press. Well, wait, are you lot playing Southampton soon?
Yes, that's after Newcastle. Then it's Man United, which will be great fun.
Southampton will be a good test because
yes,
I think
I'm looking forward to
Chelsea, man. I've had enough of the Chelsea fans. I've had enough of the Chelsea fans.
Hold it, fam. Hold it.
I will hold it, man. But I'm ready for you guys.
Man said I had enough of the Chelsea fans.
I've had enough, man. It's everywhere now, man. Yeah, man.
Come on, look forward to that one. Pay-per-view. Where are we? Grizz, what's your prediction on the Chelsea Newcastle?
It's at Stamford Bridge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuchel. I think this is one of the last easy fixtures that Tuchel's had in his honeymoon period. Even though I rate him, the sterner test will come in the next 5-6 games for Tuchel. This one's going to be a walk in the park. No Callum Wilson, boy. This is going to be messy.
Willock's doing well though. He's doing all right.
Willock, he might have a point to prove against Chelsea. Yeah, that's true. But I'm going to go comfortable 2-0 Chelsea.
2-0. What is that? That's the third 2-0. SAEED, what's your prediction?
Let me change it, man, because I need to do something different, man. Let me change it.
You do?
Yeah. I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea.
3-0.
Yeah.
Get that difference.
Don't worry about my predictions. Yeah, you worry about yours. Bloody every time I make a prediction, man,
trying to help you, man.
Bloody hell.
You know what I mean?
Don't worry about my tactics. Don't worry about my tactics.
Man said bloody hell. Yes, SAEED, what's yours?
I'm gonna go for 2-1, man, and I'm not even gonna watch the game because that man bored me to death, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like seriously, these guys are blaming the pitch here for the lack of football. Did you hear these guys? That
wasn't me. That
wasn't you, Matisse. I know, but there was a lot of Chelsea fans saying the football at Barnsley, the pitch at Barnsley was awful. Listen, Barnsley outplayed you for 90 minutes. It was terrible. Listen, Matisse, I know this manager's just only come to the football club, yeah. But are you confident in that style of football? Are you going to be happy with that Van Gaal approach, mate? It is terrible, man.
Bro, you know this. Let's be real now. Let's be real. You know it takes a while to implement football.
Yes, I do.
System. You know it takes more than just a few weeks, especially when there's games back to back. And by the way, it's a results business at Chelsea where he's under pressure to get results right now to make top 4. So I'm okay with him being a bit more pragmatic to get the results because right now he's in a results situation where he needs to make top 4. If he was to be doing this next season after a full preseason and a transfer window, then yes, questions will 100% be asked. But right now,
he gets another season, though.
See, you can't go wrong with what Matisse is saying, man. He's making.
100%. I agree with you, but I just look at it and it remembers you of Van Gaal, man. You know the approach of passing out from the back. You know what I mean? It's very, very methodical. And listen, don't get me wrong. Maybe that's what Chelsea fans need right now. But I just feel like for me, I'm gonna go with a 2-1 slender Tuchel win. Listen, he's doing right, man. He's getting a clean sheet. He's getting all that. But I just feel like for me, sooner or later, Chelsea fans will get tired of that, man. They will, man. Because at the end of the day, man, the old saying is, man, football's there to be entertained, man. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
2-1 and you're not watching it. That's the notes I'm taking.
2-1 and I'm not watching it, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Steve, what's your prediction and thought?
Just a Man United fan there trying to tell people about entertaining football. You need to look at your own club, innit?
Bloody hell, man. We're not even talking about United, man. Why are you so obsessed with United, man?
I've just been talking about Van Gaal and you're trying to tell Matisse. You're trying to tell Matisse about entertaining football.
Yeah, but why are you so obsessed with United?
You lot drop with every week.
Why are you obsessed with United, man? Bloody hell, mate. I'm telling you, man, you support a second club, don't you, man?
Have you noticed? I'm just going to make a point, one point. Nobody is allowed to slag any Man United player off because them comments go mad, yeah? No Man United fan on these daft YouTube channels.
Here we go.
I've ever slagged a Man United player off because all you blame is the system, the weather, you blame bleeding. Anything you can blame, you blame, but instead of looking at the players, that is the difference. Everyone can see through it. I can see through it. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Don't come in here telling other teams how to play football.
This guy's actually rattled, you know.
Don't come in here slagging other man's players off when your players are shit.
Wow.
I don't
care what you say. I don't care what you say.
Who blamed the
You can go
weather?
all you want.
I don't know who blamed the weather.
Slag your
I
own
don't
players
know.
off.
Listen, stop
Beating
listening to
everyone
12-year-olds,
with
man. Stop listening to them 12-year-olds that DM me,
And
man.
leave
Just relax,
Matisse
man.
alone. Leave Matisse alone, yeah? Hey?
I love
Wow.
Stop listening to them 12-year-olds, bro. No, I know they DM me.
Hey? You listen to the 12-year-olds, man. Pandering to the 12-year-olds, not me.
Mate, it's so mad. It's
Steve, I
all
love you,
just
Steve. I
mad.
love
I
you,
can't
Steve.
sit there and listen to a guy of his opinion on every other team, but when you come to his team, he can't admit his players are shit. He can't admit they're doing wrong.
Listen,
They
we're
can't
talking
admit
about
nothing.
Chelsea, Steve, man.
Hey?
We're talking
You know what I
about
mean?
Chelsea.
Pipe down, innit? Go and get some incest sticks on and some candles and have a bath.
Hey. So back to the prediction.
Oh,
team.
my
Imagine,
days,
imagine
man.
that's all it took to trigger Steve. Prediction on my prediction.
I'm telling you, bro.
Went in.
It's crazy.
I think it'd be a tight game, mate. I think Steve Bruce might get a draw, so I'm going to go 1-1.
Ooh,
Okay.
shit, can I change my mind again?
Yeah, I don't like you because I don't think that's happening.
Someone said that Steve
No.
beefing Fortnite kids and that, yo.
Listen, these 12-year-olds don't bother me, man. They don't bother me. They talk shit like you. They're all the same. They're all the same. I'm talking facts. I'm talking facts. I can see a
That's
shit
cool,
player.
man.
I can see a shit manager and I can see a shit team, and you tick all 3 boxes, even though you won't admit it.
Listen,
Oh,
what a way
boy.
to end the show.
Oh,
What a way to
Steve's
end the
funny,
show,
man.
people. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. Listen, make sure you guys hit the like button because we're going overtime again. Big up FUAD, who's, filled in today. And
Yeah,
we'll
man.
Yeah, man. Big up.
Right,
Class,
appreciate
man,
you
class,
having me on, bro. It's been
Class,
been
man.
quality. It's been quality viewing, bro. I've enjoyed it.
Class, bro.
Yo, this is every week, man.
Class
I
debut.
love
Class
this.
debut.
Trust me,
I appreciate it, man.
100%. And like I said, every channel link is in the description. And Steve has a channel now too. So not only FUAD is
Get on
down
my
there.
channel. Get
Steve,
on the
do your
channel.
promotion, mate. Carl. You're better than me at it.
Listen, I don't even know what I'm doing, but just follow my channel, Big Steve MCFC on YouTube. We're just going to wing it. We're going to talk proper football. We're going to talk proper football, and we're going to finally admit that Pogba is shit. So log on, tune in, let's have
This
it.
guy,
Come
man.
on,
This
sit.
guy. Yo,
Top of the
listen,
league.
guys.
Top of the league.
He loves
That's
United.
it. Top
This
of the
guy,
league.
yo.
Top of
This
the
guy
league.
loves United, man. You know
Top
what I
of the
mean?
league.
Bloody hell. Red free.
100%. 100%. Like I said, FUAD, he's more than welcome, and we'll make sure that he comes on more often. But make sure you guys subscribe to the Big Six channel where you're going to see more content. You'll see more of FUAD. You'll see more of other fans. You'll see more Arsenal fans. It's better to have their perspective too, not always mine, because I'm fed up with it all. And hence why I'd rather talk about other clubs at times too. But big up everyone here. Like I said, every channel link is in the description below. The social media handles are in the names now. MAH, FUAD Kadani, GRIZZ Khan, United Central, SAEED Realist, yeah? Big Steve MCFC. Make sure you guys follow, subscribe, support. Like, it's not only me here, it's not only this channel, it's every single one of us playing an equal part and bringing you guys this every Friday, every Monday. Listen, it's a big commitment, and I've got to give credit to everyone here for, sticking by it. And I give credit to everyone supporting the show so far. That's why we do it. Still 1,700 people. Make sure you guys hit the like button. 700 likes. Get it up to 1,000 before we leave. You saw the prediction table already. You'll see it again on Monday, updated with me higher up the table. We got one super chat in before. Steve, what do you think of this? They think you wake up angry, mate.
No. Back in the day, I was angry, because every day I had to go to school and put up with all their nonsense. But now I'm living the life, mate. We're top of the league. We're winning trophies. And the demise over the other side of Manchester is great to watch. So keep it up, yeah. Keep the hate coming, because we're top of the league, winning trophies.
Don't worry, man. We'll be back, man. Don't worry.
What a way to end it, people. But like I said, hit the like button. What'd you say, Saeed?
We'll be back with Nagelsmann. Don't worry, man. You get me?
Oh, is it? That's the next target, people. But we're out. Make sure you're back Monday, 10 p.m. We'll be back again, and hit the like button. Peace.